Hi, I'm Bridget Edell, and welcome to the next edition of Lip Gloss and a Sander, the show where we take one lucky guest out on the hunt for that special piece for their home that they've been looking for. And we're here today on this lovely, lovely Saturday morning with Kristi Swartz. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You want to tell everybody what you're looking for today?
Well, I'm looking for something to give my house a little pizzazz. I just repainted the whole main floor of my house. It took my husband and I many, many months to find that perfect color. We finally got it all done, and now we need something to just, add a little pizzazz.
I was fortunate enough to have the chance to go to Kristi's home before we met today, so I could see the lovely paint color that she picked, and I'm able to kind of have a vision of maybe some things that she might need for her home that might work at a flea market or a yard sale while we're out today. So I think our plan for today is going to be, with nothing specific in mind, we're going to go hit some local yard sales in the area and see if we see something that just jumps out and grabs you. Something that you say, wow, this is what I need for my kitchen, that spot that's missing something. What do you think of that idea?
I think that sounds great. I think that sounds great.
Good. So that's what we're going to try and do. A lot of times on the show, we kind of have some general idea. We're going to go look for a dresser or some kind of nightstand, but for today we're just going to kind of go out like we've done in the past. Just go out as two friends and see some yard sales and see how it works and see if something grabs us. So today we're going to just work basically off of the Craigslist listings and the Gazette listings.
Perfect.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you this first listing on Craigslist. I think we really need to go to. It's a little farther away, and sometimes it's okay to go a little outside of your circle of diameter for these sales, because this actually has the listing, let me show you, of all the items and the prices.
Okay.
So this one actually starts super early, so I thought we would go to this one first.
Yeah.
Because the prices that they have listed are very reasonable for what we're looking for.
And a lot of items.
A lot of things. They not only do they have planters and refrigerator trays, they also have some desks and some things for the deck. So I think we're definitely going to go to this one first.
Okay.
And let's give that one a try.
Okay, great.
But we're very lucky, even though there's no flea markets today, there are amazing sales listed in Craigslist and in the Gazette. So I think we have at least 4 we can try, and we're going to go ahead and see how that goes.
Perfect.
Okay?
Perfect. Sounds
All right.
great.
One tip I wanted to mention is the night before you go yard sailing, if you have any idea in your house where you might need something, it'd be a good idea to measure ahead of time. So when you get to the yard sale, you know your exact dimensions. There have been many times I've called my husband or my kids from a yard sale where I found something, and they are out running or at the grocery store and they're not home to measure the space I need. So I just wanted to make that suggestion. Another tip is the night before your sale, you want to print out all your listings from Craigslist and get your Gazette together and print out the maps, because you never know when your GPS is not going to work or you're not going to get cell phone service at the sales. And also what I do is I put them in order. So I have my sheets and I put them in order, like the ones that start at 7 o'clock, the ones that start at 8 o'clock, etc. So that way I can kind of map out ahead of time from my home what the plan is to save time and make it more efficient when I'm out. Because if you're over here and then you find a sale over there, but then there was another one right here, you kind of made a big loop when you really didn't need to. So that's another tip. Good luck. We're ready to go to the sale now. I have my small purse. Kristi's got her bag.
Ready.
It's such a beautiful place. The trees, it's just a great location. I'm very happy. It's making me happy. So let's go take a walk down the driveway and see what they have. All right, so as we're walking down the driveway here, I can see they've got some great stuff. I can see a tractor, which I don't know if you need, but you can see already that it looks like, to me, I would be very excited walking up here. Looks like they have a lot of things to choose from.
Table is full. I like that.
Who knows what we're going to find, but I don't really see a whole lot of furniture. Maybe they have it in the garage, but I'm excited to go check it out.
Okay,
You have your
sounds
money
good.
ready?
I do.
Okay.
I have my tape measure.
All right, so let's just take a look around and see what they have. Anything jumps out at you? Watch.
Super
Oh, look
cute.
with the watch bands.
Yeah. Look at that.
I'm kind of looking around for furniture and things. Oh, here's my favorite, Marilyn Monroe.
Aww.
Love her.
Never know what you'll find.
I know. Okay, look over here. There's some things here that look interesting. Not quite sure what these are. Do you have any ideas what you think these might be?
I would put maybe a citronella candle in, stick them in the backyard, you know, around the picnic table. Maybe a cup holder.
I think they might be kind of cool, spray painted to match like the slate in my backyard, or maybe the table or the bench.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're marked for 75 cents each, so
That's a
I
good
might
deal.
just pick them up, and they have 3 of them here, so it might work. I'm going to get them, I think.
Yeah.
Do you think I could spray paint these?
Yeah, I would spray paint them all the same color.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to get them. You never know. Not really quite sure what they are, but they're kind of cool. Okay, now here's usually when I'm flea marketing or yard selling, I usually skip the clothes, but a lot of people come to yard sales and get amazing clothes. So I don't know, are you usually someone that looks through clothes?
Yeah, no, I'm.
No? Okay, well let's just go by. You know, you never know, something might grab me. Oh, there is an Ole Miss hat. My friends are big Ole Miss fans, but some chairs. Right now I'm pretty good with chairs. As you all know, I usually have them in the back of my car.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it looks like for this sale, there's some great things we picked up. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they have any furniture, but maybe I'll ask and see. Maybe they have some furniture in the garage. So I'll check back in a second. Okay, you know how I was telling you before at the coffee shop about how it's a good idea to sometimes, you know, bring a map and things with you, because sometimes your phone doesn't work or the GPS.
Yeah.
Well, we just ran into that lady. We keep seeing her. We saw her at the other yard sale. She was looking for a yard sale, but she didn't have a GPS, an iPhone, or anything. So we gave her the sheet that we had, and we plugged the information in my phone. So that's the reason why. You just never know when you're going to need another address for a yard sale.
And you helped out a fellow yard seller.
Yeah, there you go. So made a new friend. So here we are at this yard sale. Looks like most of the stuff is in the garage, so we'll kind of take a look around and we'll look at the stuff here in the driveway.
Sounds good.
All right. So the piece is marked for $40, so let's get the homeowner close by and see if we can ask him if we can do some negotiation. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. We really love this piece that you have. It's marked for $40. Do you think there's any wiggle room there?
There are some things I can negotiate on, but on this piece, it belongs to my wife. She's not here right now.
Okay.
And she definitely wanted $40.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're interested in that.
Yeah.
But
You know, I think, Kristi, for this piece, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to drop the price down at all, but I think for $40, it's a great buy, so I think we should get it.
Yeah, I think so
I
too.
think we're going to take this.
okay, good.
Great.
Good.
Thank you
All
for
right,
having
so
it. We saw it right when we were about to leave, so thank you.
Good, good. All right, thank you.
Okay.
All righty.
So everyone's happy.
Good.
You're
yeah.
happy, we're happy, everyone's
yeah.
happy,
Everybody's
so
happy.
it works.
Good,
All right, thank you. Okay.
All right.
Another great yard sale. We really hit the jackpot today.
Yeah.
So these were our finds we got today. We got a $3 possibly mismarked drill bit set for our producer who found this find. Tell everybody what you found here.
I found a picture frame for Grandpa. My kids will enjoy putting their pictures in for him.
And that was a great deal she got. And we got the $40, could be a beverage holder, could be a planter, metal piece that we're going to go back to the studio and work on removing the rust and painting it, possibly black. We'll talk about it when we get there, but this was a great deal, so I'm excited to work on it.
Yeah, me too.
You ready to go back?
Yep.
Okay. Here we are back at the Lip Gloss and Sander new and improved studio. We're at an outdoor venue today. We are enjoying this beautiful weather, and we're going to do a little spray painting. So instead of well ventilating the original studio, we're just going to move our venue outside and enjoy the day. So we're going to go ahead and start the first step of refinishing this piece. So the first step we're going to try is to use a wire brush on all the loose rust. So our goal is to get all the rust off and get it primed and ready to paint. So we're going to go ahead and take, we're going to leave this loose for right now. Use all different assortment of wire brushes. For right now, I think we're going to try and use the smallest brush because there's some small pieces, and in these little crevices, we want to try and get the rust off. So our first step will be to use this little brush And you want to go ahead and try.
Sure.
Oh, before we start, I almost forgot the most important things. Safety first. So you have your goggles, so make sure you always keep your goggles on. And you don't want any pieces of debris flying up and hitting you in the face. And also for this step, we're going to use some gloves. Right now we can just use some latex gloves. We don't need the super heavy gloves. So you would just take your brush, wire brush, and just kind of, with a little bit of force, just try and get the loose rust spots off. Okay, you just put your hand on the edge and push down, and you can see how easily the rust is coming off just a little bit of the wire brush. So take yours and just kind of push down with your hand that's holding on and with the hand that's actually scrubbing off the rust. So whatever you determine to use this piece for, it's going to look so great, but this is a step you must do first. You must get all the rust off before you try and spray paint it, or else what's going to end up happening is it's just going to keep flaking off and you're just going to have to redo it. So this is kind of a tedious step, but you really must do it. Must do mandatory step. Another thing that's very important that I forgot to say when we were putting on the safety goggles and the gloves is that Kristi is in the studio wearing flip-flops, which is a big time no-no. You should always make sure for safety you always have your feet covered and protected. You never know when there's going to be debris and you might fall, which I did one time and landed in the emergency room. Sometimes haste makes waste, so you want to make sure you slow down, put shoes on, and you don't want anything to drip on your feet and cause any injury. So Kristi's going to take a break while I'm doing this, and she's going to change her shoes. Okay.
Now, are you trying to get the pieces that are real stubborn, or if they're real stubborn, then...
Well, this step, you really just want to get anything loose.
Loose.
For the next step, I'll show you, we'll use a little bit more intense method to get the stubborn spots off. But this is just really loose stuff. Should flake off really easy with the brush. While Kristi's finishing up with the wire brush step, we're going to go ahead and start step 2. Step 2 is going to be using the drill with a bit on the end that helps with rust. And my tip for this, before you use this, always make sure that you're holding it and you plug it in, just to make sure for safety reasons that what will happen is that if you're not careful, it might be already turned on and you might really hurt yourself. So just make sure before you use something, any kind of power equipment, just make sure you plug it in and make sure you're aware of whether it's on or off. So we're going to go ahead and plug this in. Okay, and that looks good. I'll put this down on the ground. I don't need it up on the table. So we're going to go ahead and try and get the stubborn rust spots off with the drill, with the bit. That was really, feel it. It's really coarse. And it'll really help get those stubborn rust stains off before we prime it. Before we do this step, we want to go ahead and make sure we use our masks. So put these on. Take the top part and put it over your head. There you go. There you go. And then just put this part over your nose, and the top yellow strap stick over your ears. There you go. Perfect. Looking good, Kristi. All right. There you go. Okay. All right, let's switch spots. So I'm going to go ahead. This can be really loud and really strong, so just make sure you're ready when you turn it on. And you can see, Kristi, you'll watch, I'm going to try and get this rusty, stubborn spot off that I couldn't get off with the brush.
Perfect. It came right off.
You can feel it's a little rough still, so I'm going to have to sand it out a little bit more, but look at that spot came right off. Yeah. So another helpful tip is if you have a partner, have your partner put their weight down on it so it holds it like leverage. So go ahead, while I'm sanding, if you could just hold right there, and I'll go ahead and work down. I'm taking a little lip gloss break. We've been using the power drill and our brush, and I just need a little break for a minute. So how are we looking here, Kristi?
Looks really good. There's a couple more spots that need to be worked on.
Okay. So what we're going to go ahead and do is finish sanding this with the power sander and also with the wire brush. And then after we're done, we're going to go ahead and prime it. I think it's pretty close to being ready. So let's finish up this step and move on to the next one. Okay. Don't forget to put your mask on. So we're done with those steps with the wire brush and the sander, and we're going to get ready for the next step. So I'm going to give you some white rags. You're going to wipe down the pieces, and I'm going to get the table ready for our next step. Okay?
Sounds good.
All
Yep.
right. While we're cleaning up in between stages, I just wanted to mention while we were outside in our outdoor studio, just make sure that you put down a protective tarp on your pavers or whatever you're using outside to cover it and protect it. We're going to go ahead and put another tarp down when we paint, but this way this will protect whatever's your underground from getting dirty or damaged. So that is that tip. And so the final step now is we're taking just a block sander, and we're going to go ahead and go over all the edges and the surfaces to make sure it's all smooth before we start priming. So before we start the primer, unfortunately I don't have the Dremel bit. And you want to tell everybody what the Dremel bit is?
A Dremel bit is just a little bit that goes on the end of your drill or an electric screwdriver, and it's just really is a little teeny sander to get into the small little crevices.
So unfortunately for this project we don't have that. But we do have this rust remover dissolving gel, which we're going to try and use on some of these areas. So we're going to dab this on with a very inexpensive brush, dab it on, and the directions say to wait 5 to 10 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Just make sure you change your gloves when you're using something this strong. You want to have the super heavy gloves on that are thicker and not the latex ones on. So we'll go ahead, let's put our masks on, but we're going to go ahead and you use your side and just dab it on the spots where it looks pitted, and I'm going to go ahead my side.
Is it okay if it gets on your table?
Yeah. It's all right. I'm having a hard time seeing. The 10 minutes has passed for the wipe down of the goopy stuff on top of the rust remover on top of the rust. So if you can see on our clean white pads, if you want to show everyone at home how the rust is coming off. So we're going to go ahead and keep wiping it down, and then the next step we're going to use is we're going to use an outdoor spray paint primer, and we're going to go ahead and prime it first before we spray it black. And so that's going to be our next step. So we're going to finish up with the rust removal goop, and then we're going to go ahead and spray it with a primer, and then when the primer dries we'll go ahead and spray it with the black spray paint. All right?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. We left off yesterday applying a coat of primer to our piece after we removed all the rust. I just wanted to stress that it's very important to do the primer, especially after taking all that time to remove the rust. If you do not apply the primer, the rust is just going to come through your paint. So don't skip steps and definitely do the primer. Okay, so because we did the primer, we ran out of time yesterday. So we're back today to apply the coat of spray paint. And before we do that, I just wanted to remind everyone to make sure that you remember, it's very important this step, to lightly sand in between coats of paint so the paint will adhere better. So welcome back, Kristi.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Thanks. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take the sanding block, a very fine grit, and we're just going to lightly go over. Before we do that, important safety first. Make sure, because we're sanding, you want to make sure you have your goggles and your face mask. You may have noticed that the location of the studio has changed. We just moved the location of the set to the front of the studio, so you may hear some cars in the background or see some people walking by. So I just wanted to let you know that's why you'll see that or hear those things. So, okay? So always remember safety first, and while we're sanding, we just need to put on a protective mask and the goggles. You don't need gloves for this part, so we'll go ahead and grab the safety mask, and do you have your goggles? You put those on, so gear up. Always looks so beautiful doing this step. All right. All right, you ready? So just take your block and just lightly go over the top and all the sides just to get it a little smoother and ready for paint. You can probably a little bit more, you know. We're going to go ahead and take this tray out so it doesn't fall out while we're working. And then we'll take this piece off. Kristi will work on the top and I'll work on the bottom. So we can just take this and I'll go ahead and do this part. This step should be very quick. You just want to lightly go over any rough spots that the primer left. We finished the light sanding of the planter piece, and so we're going to go ahead and get ready to spray paint it. But before we do that, we just want to make sure we just lightly dust off all the sanding dust that came. So go ahead and just take your rag I gave you and just, kind of go over the piece and make sure that all the dust is off before you go ahead and apply the spray paint. So while we're doing that, we kind of talked about a paint color. So you want to tell everybody what you were thinking about for paint?
I'd really like to paint it black. It goes with my porch decor.
Sure, surely you don't want to paint it black.
Yes, I do, and I want you to stop calling me Shirley.
Okay, so I think black paint is a good idea for this piece. I've been to your porch and I've seen the color scheme there, so I think black is an excellent choice, and I promise I'll stop calling you Shirley. But so we're going to go ahead and just lightly dust this off and get ready for the spray paint. We're ready to apply the spray paint, and I was mentioning to a friend of mine how my finger seems to get tired from using spray cans of paint just by holding down the trigger. And she had mentioned that you can go to your local hardware store and get this piece that can go on top of the spray can, which will help the finger fatigue. And thought we would try it today. I've never used this piece, so I have no idea if I'm going to find it useful or not, but I thought it was worth a try because we have these 3 actual sections to spray paint. So we'll go ahead and try it and see how it works. And if it doesn't, we'll take it off and just do it the old-fashioned way. But if this helps, I think it will be really time saver. So
It's a great idea.
Are you ready to give it a try?
I am.
Okay. So in order to apply the applicator, you just take your paint can, and there's a piece right here. You just pull it, and you put the collar around the top, and then you're supposedly ready to go. So we'll see how easy this is,
Great.
and we'll give it a try. So there's one for you and one for me. We're going to go ahead and spray the other sides of the tray and then move on to the other parts of the planter. So in order to do that, we're just going to take this piece, move it here, spray. So this piece is done on the bottom and the sides. We're just going to let it dry, and we're going to move on to these pieces now. So we're going to go ahead and move to the base of the planter. So you want to go ahead and spray the front here so everyone can see how easy it is to apply. I'll move out of your way. How did you think that went with the trigger on top of the spray can?
I think it worked great. The no finger fatigue, and
Good.
I think we're good.
So I think it looks really nice on the front. So we're going to go ahead and finish the sides and the back. Okay. All right. So let me just do this here. Oh, this is so nice. Look at this. Woo! Easy peasy. We sprayed the top part of the base, but we have to flip it over and make sure you get the underside. Don't forget that part because you don't want to have white showing through your black. So we're going to go ahead and do the underside of the base. Okay? You do that side, I'll do this side and see how it works out. Okay, we had to switch paint cans because Kristi's out of spray paint. So just another thing to remember, when you finish any kind of paint can or spray, you just don't want to throw it in the trash. You have to dispose of it in an environmentally friendly way. So just keep that in mind. Do not throw it in the trash, okay? So good tip to remember. All right, so we're going to go ahead and spray the top in the same manner that we did the base. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Okay. We waited to give the pieces enough time to dry, and then we reassembled them to show everyone how it looks now, all done and painted. So what do you think?
I think it looks great. I think it came out really, really well.
Yeah, me too. I'm really happy with the way the color looks. And our next step is we're going to go over to Kristi's house and put it on her porch. So that's where we're off to now.
Sounds good.
So we're here on this lovely afternoon with Kristi on her gorgeous porch in the front of her home. And we have our finished piece here with us. And Kristi, do you want to remind everybody at home what we had talked about at the coffee shop before we left for the yard sales?
Well, we were looking for something that just kind of struck us. We recently had painted the inside of my house, and we were looking for a piece that might go in the inside. We needed something for the front porch as well. We saw this. It struck our eye immediately. It had a lot of rust on it, but we knew that we could fix it up and make it look great.
Yeah, it was just to remind everybody, it was this piece that we found at this yard sale at the bottom of the driveway, full of rust, a $40 piece that we weren't able to negotiate any further off the price, but it ended up working out. We went back to the studio and removed all the rust and primed the piece, and Kristi had a great idea of also using it as a beverage cart. I immediately saw it and thought planter right away, but you want to tell everyone what you thought about the beverage cart too?
Yeah, it has a nice interior liner to it, so you could put bottles in there, cups, and use it as a server when you have company.
Yeah, I think it was a multi-purpose piece that for a little bit of money and a little bit of time, we made it look amazing on your very gorgeous porch. So I wanted to thank you so much for being a part of our show.
Oh, well, thank you. I had a great time. I learned a lot, and now I have a gorgeous planter.
Yeah, great. I'm so glad. Love it. Well, that's it for this edition of Lip Gloss in the Sander. You can follow me on Twitter or like me on Facebook. I'm Bridget Edell. Thanks for watching. This episode of Lip Gloss in the Sander was sponsored in part by Amy DePretta and Patricia Elder, Remax Metropolitan, providing clients with over 20 years of experience offering superior marketing, staging, and consulting with VIP quality service. Potomac Basin Group, an NFT company, is a full-service insurance brokerage offering affordable insurance solutions for businesses from 2 to 500 employees and individuals for all of their insurance needs. Potomac Valley Chiropractic, serving the North Potomac and Gaithersburg area. Dr. Spiro Theodore has been restoring people to good health through chiropractic care for over 10 years. Promotional consideration provided by Delaware Design Company, marketing communications with direction. And by 4Dimensional Real Estate Solutions, working with clients to assist with leasing, sales, and all of your commercial real estate requirements.
Camera's rolling. Okay. And
You were the cutest production assistant I've ever seen. Would you like to go out with me later tonight?
check out my clapboard.
I would love to see.
No flirting on the set.
No flirting on the set.